Hey everyone, how's it going? Forrest here, again with another installment of my complete analysis of all of J.S. Bach's chorale harmonizations. Today we're looking at Ich hab in Gottes Herz und Sinn, which translates to I have surrendered to God's heart and mind, not mine. This is a very harmonically dense chorale, so I don't want to tarry too long, I just want to hop right into the analysis. Two sharps in the key signature, we start off on B minor, we end on B major rather, and I know that we would want to say that we were probably in the key of B minor here, but I'm pretty convinced that we are in the key of F sharp minor, and the main reason why is because of this G sharp here and this A natural. Now one of two things is happening, either we're in the B Dorian mode where we have the natural 6th and the flat 7th, or we're in the key of F sharp minor and that G sharp is the 2nd scale degree. This melody really does feel like F sharp minor, F sharp, G sharp, A. Sounds like La-Ti-Do, 1, 2, 3 in the key of F sharp minor. So I think even though we start off in the key of F sharp minor, we still keep the idea of B minor. They more or less share all of the same notes, that G, the difference being their Gs. But regardless, two passing tones in the upper voices. We then have F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, and A natural, one of the big culprits as to why I think we're in F sharp minor. I don't think we have a 1 minor 5 here, we have a 4 1. And then we have E sharp, D, G sharp, and B, which is E sharp fully diminished 7th, which is the 7/7 chord of F sharp minor, that then goes directly back to the same F sharp minor voicing, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, and A. We then go to B minor again, B, B, F sharp, and D, which is our 4 chord, and I think this is where we modulate to the key of D major, because our first cadence is a perfect authentic cadence in the key of D major, and this B minor chord is no longer our 4, but rather our 6. Then we go to G sharp, B, E, and D. Interesting how we keep that G sharp. However, instead of having E sharp, we have E natural. So this E7 chord over G sharp is a secondary dominant, just a substitute for E minor. So as opposed to E minor 7 over G, we have E7 over G sharp, which would be 5, 6, 5 of 5. So they're similar chords. And then we have A major, which is our 5 chord, A, E, and C sharp. And then we cadence on D major, D, A, F sharp, and D, which is our tonic triad in root position. Pretty normal cadential formula here. The only real variation being the secondary dominant as a sub for our 2 chord. Alright, moving ahead, our second phrase of the A section is a perfect authentic cadence, or rather it ends with a perfect authentic cadence in the key of B minor. So we're looking for a point on which we modulate, and I reckon it happens in and around this G natural. Maybe not before the G natural like it usually does, even though we have G naturals beforehand. But I think it happens around here, at least that's what it sounds like to me. Regardless, we have B, B, F sharp, and D, and although I'm tempted to call this a B minor chord and call it a flat, or call it 6 in the key of D major, I think this G sharp plays more of a role. Sorry, I almost put parentheses around it. What I meant to put is parentheses around this F sharp. I think this G sharp's actually our chord tone. It's G sharp, B, and D, which is G sharp diminished, and if we in first inversion, and if we look at it, that would be the leading tone chord of 5, A major, so this would be 7, 6 of 5 rather than 6. And then of course we go to 5, A, E, A, and C sharp, which is A major, our 5 chord with a passing 7th in the alto. So 6 or 7, 6 of 5, it's up to you, but I think this G sharp, the fact that we have G sharp in a D major context, I think that's more significant than the F sharp in this case. But then we go to A, D sharp, F sharp, and B, which is B7 in second inversion. It's kind of interesting how they share a bass just displaced by an octave. That would be a third inversion B7 chord, which would be the dominant of E minor, which is 2. So we have 5, 4, 2 of 2, and that resolves exactly where we expect E minor in first inversion, 2, 6, G, B, G, and E. Notice how they're G naturals here rather than G sharps like we had in the previous measure. And I think this is where we modulate to the key of B minor. This is now our 4-6 chord. Now interestingly, if you've heard any of my videos in the past, or if you've heard my analysis, you will know that I say that the 4-6 chord usually is connected via a passing tone to the tonic on the next beat. It's a very popular, one of the most popular progressions in Bach's chorales, where we have 4/6, and then we have a leading tone connecting it to the 1. Because this next beat we do have a 1, however, instead we have a descending line, G, F sharp, E, and then we go up to B, rather than G, A, B. So that's kind of interesting, this little variation on what we typically see. But anyways, we do have a little bit of a 4/3 suspension in the melody here. We still go to a tonic triad. This D is a passing 7th, this E is a chord tone. And then we go to, on the next beat, we have F sharp, A sharp, F sharp, C sharp. So here's the A sharp we were looking for the B minor context. That makes this F sharp major, which is a 5 chord, passing 7th in the bass, and then we get D, B, F sharp, and D, which is B minor in first inversion. That's a 1/6 chord. A little bit of a non-chord tone here in the melody as well. I think it's called an escape tone. I should really check in on that. I've been saying that for a while now. But then we go to E, B, G, and C sharp. That's C sharp minor 7 flat 5 over E, a 2/6/5 chord. Bach loves his 2/6/5 chords. And then we go to another A major chord, A major, F sharp major, F sharp, A sharp, F sharp, and C, with a passing 7th in the alto. So that's a 2/6/5/5, and then we cadence on B minor, B, F sharp, D, and B, 2/6/5/5/1. Very common cadential progression in Bach's chorales. Alright, looking ahead, we have an interesting phrase here. We have a perfect authentic cadence at the end of it in the key of A major. However, we start this phrase off in the key of E major. We start off with a B major chord, B, F sharp, D sharp, and B, which is a 5 chord in the key of E. And then we go to E major, E, G sharp, E, and B, which is our tonic, passing tones in the lower voices. And then we have a little bit of parallelism going on in the lower voices. This figure of step, step, skip, down in the opposite direction turns this E major chord into G sharp, B, E, and B. Just turns it into first inversion, so no need to reanalyze, just change the figured bass. And then on the and of 2, we get a revisitation of the root position of that same E major chord, but both of these are chord tones, so we don't need to mark them. And then we go to A major, A, E, and C sharp, and we still have, I don't think we've modulated just yet. I mean, it's possible that we could have modulated. It just doesn't quite sound like it's modulated until we get closer to the cadence to me. So I really think anywhere in this zone is totally fine to say that you've modulated. I guess, hypothetically speaking, you could say that this entire phrase is in the key of A major. It's just, I think it's a harder argument. It just sounds like it's in the key of E major to me up until a point. So this A major chord is a 4 chord. This could be a point in which you say we've modulated to the key of A, but after these passing tones we get F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, and A, which is F sharp minor in root position. That's a 2 chord in the key of E major, and it's a 6 chord in the key of A minor. Bach does a lot of modulation via the 6 chord. I found, like, we have a modulation to the 6 here, or via the 6 here, and it's typically a vessel that he uses to introduce a new key. So maybe that's why it sounds more like it to me, but it might also just be a coincidence. But regardless, we have another passing 7th here in the bass. This was also a passing 7th. And then we go to D, B, F sharp, and A, which is B minor 7 over D, another 2/6/5 chord. We know Bach loves Todes. 6/2, it's a good sign as well. Then we have E, B, E, and G sharp. It's E major, our 5 chord now, not our 1 chord because we're in the key of A. And then we cadence on A major, A, C sharp, E, and A. Lots of perfect authentic cadences so far. It's very interesting. However, just as I say that, the next cadence we have is a half cadence in the key of B minor. So we're looking for a point in which we modulate, and I think we modulate pretty much